Hey, so what's going on, class? My name is Jared Rubio, and this is my project proposal presentation for Module 2. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. As we go into the first slide of my presentation, we have a picture of myself right here, another tutor, and one of my old students who ended up graduating from the high school and ended up going into San Diego State University. And this is a big meaning to me, or why I put this picture here is because, I was able to help the youth out, and I was able to help others like Dylan with my experiences through the AVID program. So that's a couple of reasons how I see myself advocating. But also, I want to use my great communication skills to my advantage, and see different places while volunteering and experiencing and exchanging cultures. With those three being said that I just mentioned, I do think it is important for me to become bilingual so that way I can have more of these opportunities come my way. And that's how I pretty much see myself advocating. Um, and if we go on to the third slide, you'll start to put together the presentation. So, oh, he wants to become bilingual and all this other stuff. Well, I want to participate in advocacy outside of America. And two advocacy plans or ideas that I had was that I learned from Module 1 was international disaster assistance and foreign assistance. So I jotted down a pretty much like a little summary of what I think, what I got from these two. But it's essentially uh, just applying foreign aid, helping others out in other countries that are gonna need our help, and helping individuals. And I think especially youth. I've always had a soft spot for either broken youth or poverty youth, or I guess you would want to say youth if you wanted to say youth. I've always had a soft spot for youth development. Um, that's always been a little soft spot for me. So you know what I mean? Just providing food, like water, shelter, warmth, or even just giving any type of humanitarian aid or needs for individuals who can't provide it for themselves. And a perfect organization that I looked into that can do that is actually this organization called UNICEF. So exactly how I was saying, UNICEF focuses on humanitarian needs, and they're global. They have 190, or they have a presence of 190 people, or 100. They have a global presence of being in 190 different countries at the moment. And they respond to emergencies, and they respond to a whole bunch of aid that needs to be delivered. And something that I really took out of this was, well, dude, we have 1 out of 4 children in the world who live in a conflict zone or disaster zone. So that means, one that's 25. That's a large amount. It's not like this is happening in small amounts of children worldwide. Going back to the youth development conversation that I was saying, that's why I want to help out the youth. The youth in some type of way are, they're helpless. So I want to help them out. And here are some reasons why I decided on UNICEF. Blah blah blah. Easy application. Education, providing education to humanitarian needs and such and such. So as we go on to the fourth slide, well, this is developing a plan for my advocacy. I have all these experiences that I would imagine myself going through. So, graduate from ASU and then participate with UNICEF, and, getting accepted into UNICEF. And then right here, let's see, raise awareness with UNICEF, and, address issues that they have globally. And then this is pretty much a continued version of my own experiences that I think. I was thinking Central America just because there's a lot of like relief that needs to get put there. And then my overall impact is, these things like just provide education to the youth in foreign disaster places or places that need relief, and create a sense of education environment in other foreign countries. Cool. And as we wrap that up, we have, 1, 2, 3, 4 of my slides that pretty much go into everything that I talked about. So if you guys liked, I was going to say leave a like and subscribe, but, all right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning into my presentation. Talk to you later.